Podcast, Episode 1. It's Jane.
And it's JV.
And welcome to the podcast.
Yeah, it's our first episode, which
Yeah.
is kind of like a pilot, right?
Yeah, the pilot episode.
Yeah,
See if
so
we get
like-
picked up by a network. By CJ Go TV.
Yeah. So it's kind of like, it's like a pilot and it's like episode 0, maybe episode 1, but we're going to work out the kinks and stuff with like the sound and the format.
It's like the trial run.
Yeah, we're doing like a trial run. So if you don't know what a podcast is, it's kind of like something you listen to like on your phone.
Yeah.
So through like Apple Podcasts, I'm not sure what it's called on Apple, and Android has a bunch of different podcast apps.
You can download podcasts for free on iTunes.
Yeah. So iTunes, and so I use Podcast Addict on Android.
Mm-hmm.
So if you have Android or an Apple device, go to your podcast apps, search CJ Go TV.
And that's where you shall find us.
Yes, and that's where you'll find our podcast apps, and subscribe to us on there, and you can listen to us like anywhere you want on the go.
On the treadmill.
On the bus, in the car. Like that's usually where people listen to podcasts. So,
yeah. And I mean, why wouldn't you want to infuse us even more into your lives than you already do?
Exactly. So we're doing it video form, and we're also on your podcast app. So go check that out if you can. It really helps out.
Yes. Okay. So, podcast number 1. Don't look at my list.
Okay,
it's a
so
surprise.
for those who can't see, what we have here is like a list of questions we're gonna ask each other.
Or like things that we want to talk about.
Yeah, like topics and but
we
haven't shown each other what we wrote. So it's kind of like this is just one idea. We're gonna see how it goes.
And guys, for those that can't see, you can just know that BMO has arrived and made her appearance on the first ever podcast. Hopefully she purrs into the microphone in a little bit.
She jumped up on the table and her tail might hit the microphone. So
if you hear dunk, then you'll know that that's our baby BMO.
That's her.
Okay. Do you want to go first?
Go first? All right, I'll go first. So a lot of people ask in the comments.
Age before beauty.
Wait. Hey. That took a second.
Yeah.
All right, so a lot of people ask in the comments, and we've said it a bunch of times, like over live streams and stuff, but like how we met, our how we met story.
Okay, do you want to tell that story?
I think we should both like just go back and forth.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, how I remember it, well, the very first time we were at...
oh man, like this can go a bunch of different ways. We'll give like a short version now. Maybe later on we'll go into more detail because it'll take the whole episode if we
talk about that. So like the very first time we ever saw each other was in the hallway in high school.
Yes.
And
we both went to the same high school.
Yeah.
But I'm 2 years older than her.
Yes.
So is it two grades older?
2 grades older. I was grade 9 when you were grade 11.
Right.
And we would just have awkward interactions in the hallway where we wouldn't actually say anything. We would just see each other.
Yeah.
And then I knew things about you, like rumors about JV, and he knew rumors about me. And they're like later on we found out that they were all lies.
Yeah, mine was kind of true, but not really.
Yeah, yours was like partial.
Yeah, partial. Maybe we'll tell that story
one day.
Not yet. And this podcast, like it's like a little more. It's not really like for adults, but it's just like a little bit. I don't know.
Less family friendly.
PG.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like PG. When
PG.
Our show is G, this would be PG.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like that.
Yeah.
Our show is rated F for family.
Yeah.
This would be parental guidance.
Yeah.
Okay, so there was like those high school interactions, whatever those were.
Yeah, and before in high school, I was like extremely, extremely quiet. Like I would only talk to my like 5 or 6 friends.
Yes.
And other than that, like I didn't talk to anybody, like teachers. Like you just said.
Yeah.
You talked to a teacher that taught me in high school, and
he said, I was like, because I'm pregnant, and he asked about the baby, and I was like, oh, it's a Lieberman baby. That was the school we went to. And then I said, my husband was a grad from there, and he's like, oh, what's his name? And I said his name, and he's like, I'm not great with faces, but I'm great with names. And I remember that kid only because he was the only student I ever taught that never said a word the whole year.
Yeah.
And he ended the year
word.
not knowing what your voice sounded like.
Yeah, that would happen a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't say anything.
And then you have the other end of the spectrum with me.
Yeah.
Where I'm like, la, 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 like, never stop talking.
But since doing YouTube, it really helped me out to
Yeah.
Open up a lot more and talk.
And I've really come out of my shell, too.
Oh, yeah. All right, so that was like the first time we met.
Yes. But then...
do you want to keep going?
Yeah. I want to keep going.
Okay.
I do. Okay.
Well, I want to give him a little bit now.
Oh, just a little
teaser?
Okay.
So maybe, go a little bit further.
Okay, so then the next time we came into contact with each other was at a mutual friend's funeral. But it was a young friend. So there had been a lot of drinks going around at this, like... It sounds weird, but it was an after party for a funeral.
Yeah, it sounds weird, but
it made sense at the time. Anyway, we had like a full conversation, even though we had never spoken before. But I don't really remember it.
No, I don't remember it either.
Yeah.
So it was one of my best friend's older brother who passed,
and he was one of my colleagues.
Yeah. So Jane. If you don't know, Jane's a high school teacher.
Yeah.
So one of her colleagues, and then
but I had known him from a long time before, and we both had the same mentor,
right.
Mr. Cerrone.
Right.
Yeah. So there's just like this teacher who mentored both of us, and it was just like, and then the three of us were finally working together, and then it was like he just got sick, and it was so sad.
Very sad. But we met there.
Yeah, and then we were both dating other people.
Yes, we're both in relationships, so nothing happened from that point.
Yeah.
But I remember adding you to Facebook
right
from
after
that encounter. I was like, because you
weren't
weren't in my world of friends.
No. Me.
You were in my world of friends because our group of friends are very different, right?
Yeah.
So you weren't even in my Facebook list.
So you creeped me and you were like, "Hey,
I just added you as a friend because you were cool.
Who's this
got
cutie with the booty?"
All right.
Yeah, I remember when I got their friend request and I accepted immediately.
Yes.
Yeah.
And then it wasn't till like how long?
It was about 4 or 5 months after that we.
Yeah.
No, it was 5 months after that we had both separated from our people.
Yep.
And it was like we were in negative relationships. Like it was just nice people, but we were better off to be without them, right?
Yeah. And then what happened was I was single at the time.
Yeah.
So I haven't been single in like 5 years. So me and my best friend Ryan, we would go out to bars.
Yeah.
But
try to pick up girls.
But the thing is, Ryan, like when you talk to him, he'll keep talking and he won't stop.
Yeah. Sounds like someone I know.
You.
Yeah.
But me, like I won't say anything. But when we'd go to bars and we just sit there. We wouldn't approach girls. We wouldn't talk to anyone else but each other because I don't know. We're not the type to get up and approach girls like, "Hey, how's it going?
Yeah.
Like, can I get your number?" Like, not at all. So we kind of go to bars and just sit there.
So you can already imagine who picked up who in this scenario.
Yeah, well, I wasn't gonna say anything. It was we were terrible at that. Like, we were not that type of guys.
Yeah,
so
and you guys were sitting at the bar, like facing the bartender.
Yeah, we're sitting at the bar, facing the bartender.
So, but I had been at a retirement party. And then I went and I was sitting at the bar top with a friend. And then I looked to my right and like 5 seats down, I saw JV and then Ryan. And I yelled out like JV's full government name. And I tapped the seat next to me. And I was like, "Come here." And then he was like, no joke, like this like shocked face. And he was like, looked at me, and then he looked back at Ryan. And then I called his name again, and I tapped the seat next to me.
That never happened.
Yeah, and then he like picked up his beer, and he came in, then he sat down, and he was like, I could tell he was so uncomfortable.
Yes, very uncomfortable.
Yeah, and then I was like, "What's up? How's it going?" Like, just kind of started to chat to him, and then I was making you laugh a little bit.
Yeah, you're very easy to talk to. You're making me laugh.
Yeah.
Like, I never met anyone like you with your personality. Like, it was unique, really. Yeah. You guys know. You guys can see it. It's like, who else is like that?
But then JV was like some time had gone by and he wasn't asking for my number. So then I was just like, "Hey, give me your phone." And he's like, "What?" And he hands me his phone, and it's like the most cracked up screen I ever saw in my life. And I was like, "I'm gonna get hepatitis like from touching this. Cut my hand open."
Oh man.
But I was like, what is this? And he's like, oh, I broke the screen. I'm like, no kidding. Like, yeah, you broke the screen. Yeah. So I was like, unlock it. I think it was locked, right? I can't even remember.
I don't know.
Whatever. So I was like, I'm like, get me to the phone part. So he opens the phone part, and then I put my number in, and I handed it back to him, and I was like, you better call me, okay? And then
and that was it.
Yeah, that was it.
That's kind of how we met. There's more, and then after we can go into later on,
go into details,
texting her and then trying to get her in the first date. We'll go into that on a later episode. But that was how we met.
Start of Jane and JV.
Start of how we met. All right, so it's Jane's turn.
It's my turn.
So we wrote down a bunch of stuff to ask.
Mine are kind of things that are I have. When we fell in love, like that kind of stuff. But I think we should save that.
Yeah.
The day we got engaged, the day we got married. So let's talk about bringing BMO home.
Okay.
So how we decided on getting BMO and actually bringing her home. And then I want to talk about like our first pets.
Okay. Well, that's two. So you got one right now.
So I think I want to start with BMO.
Okay.
Okay. So pretty much I became obsessed with the idea of getting a cat, much like I become obsessed with every idea I ever have. So it was like, I want to change the windows. I became obsessed with the windows.
What made you want to get a cat? Was it me who initiated that?
You said maybe we should get a pet or something like that, and then then you showed me a picture of a kitten, and I had never been allowed to have pets.
Right.
And then I just became totally absorbed with the idea of I need a kitten.
Yeah, and I grew up having cats my whole life since I was a kid. Like I always had a cat in the house.
And then I needed a cat. I had to have a cat. So I think it was like 4 days later after we finally decided, yes, we're going to get a cat. We came up with the name. We were watching a bunch of shows to try to get ideas for name for this kitten that we wanted to get. And then we were watching Adventure Time. And the Game Boy BMO came on the screen.
Yes.
We really like that name. All of a sudden we were both like, BMO. I like that.
Origins of BMO's name, if you guys don't know. From Adventure Time.
Lots of our Canadian fans believe that it's Bank of Montreal.
Yeah, no,
but no, it is not. It is the character BMO from Adventure Time.
Yeah, because it was kind of like their little pet, and she had like a mind of her own. I don't know if it was a girl or a boy.
It was asexual.
And it had this really dark side sometimes.
Yeah, and I kind of loved that. It had trapped people inside of it and stuff. Yeah,
it was a really dark episode one time, but yeah. So
but I just loved the name BMO. So then we drove up to this like farmhouse because we saw these kittens on somebody's Instagram and they were giving them away. So we drove up. It was like 45 minutes away. Wasn't it?
It was far, like really up north.
Crazy.
This is like, okay, so imagine this. A couple days before that, we watched the movie Prisoner. So Prisoner is like the movie with Hugh Jackman and the movie was good. Terrence Howard, right? So their daughters got kidnapped, and then they were like taken somewhere, and then what's his name? Wolverine. He wasn't what's his name?
Hugh Jackman.
Hugh Jackman went looking for them, and then he didn't tell anyone, and then he kind of, spoiler alert, he kind of gets trapped in the house that
under the driveway or something.
Yeah, he just pretty much like gets trapped somewhere.
And he's a prisoner.
So we're going north 45 minutes. It's like pitch black. It's like 9 or 10 o'clock at night.
Yeah.
And there's snow everywhere, and then we go to this like way off the beat. Yeah, so it's like a dirt road.
We don't even see any electrical wires or anything.
Yeah, so this is the only house there. So like I saw this movie and I'm like, okay, this is where he went wrong. So I texted. I went in that group chat with like, I think there's like 4 or 5 of my boys in there, and I'm like, we're at this location. This is the address. If you don't hear from me in 45 minutes to an hour, like
I think you said 20 minutes.
Yeah, something like that.
I think you were like even tighter.
Like, get ready, like do something because we might if something happens because this creepy house.
Yeah.
So we went into the house and it's like this weird frat house.
Yeah, it was like almost like
dirty everywhere.
Stuff. There was, stuff everywhere. It was so scary.
And we went to this like
and they brought us into a back room and I was like, we're gonna get murdered here.
Yeah,
like this
but
is
I sent out the group chat, so.
Yeah, and then we went into the back room and then there were like 4 kittens in there?
Yeah, there was like a mattress on the ground and 4 kittens and like all this kind of like hillbilly Canadian type
Yeah.
people. Like,
And
just
then
mismatch of races. Like,
Totally.
so many different races.
It was
like, what's going
so
on
random,
here?
yeah. But anyway, then we sat on the floor and we waited for a minute to see which kitten would come to us.
Yeah.
And there was like a gray and white cat, an orange cat, like a calico cat, like the mixed colors, and then there was this black cat with a little white tuft on her chest. Yeah, and then awesome. She came over and she climbed on top of my legs.
She was like the most, like what I was looking for, because I've had cats before, right? So
they were docile,
I didn't,
right?
Yeah, I didn't want the cat that would just sit in the corner all the time. I wanted the cat that would act like a dog, but it's way less work.
Yeah.
So I was looking for the cat with the most energy, was running around, playing with you, like really social. So like BMO,
she tried to climb me,
yeah,
and then what happened was she was playing with us, and then JV turned and looked at me, and he's like, "Is it BMO?" And I was like, "Yeah, it's BMO." And we're like, "We're gonna take this one."
Yeah.
And then I put her beside her mom to kiss her mom goodbye, and there was no interaction between them. And then I took a picture of her mom so that I could show BMO one day. I thought she might want to see it. She doesn't care whenever I try to show her. Like, that's your birth mama. Yeah. My first pet, obviously. And then anyway, so we picked BMO up and we left.
Yeah,
and
that was it.
Yeah, and then for
awesome.
so long she would like I fell in love with her so hard, right? Mm-hmm. So it was hard for us to like go out at first and stuff because I didn't want to leave her. And the first time we went out, we came home and we thought that she had run away. We were so upset.
You were upset. You were almost in tears. I knew she was around.
I was crying. I wasn't almost in tears. I was like sobbing.
Yeah.
And then we just see all of a sudden this like crazy shape coming out of the duvet cover.
Yeah.
And then we realized she got trapped in the duvet cover. So we pulled her out and she was so happy.
Yeah, she was fine. All right. So that's the BMO origin story.
Yeah, that's the BMO story.
Yes. Okay. So I got another question here. This is kind of like a weird scenario question, and like, it's kind of like a two-parter. But okay, so okay, in a zombie, say there was a zombie apocalypse, right?
Okay.
Which is gonna happen pretty like sooner or later. I'm just joking.
If you can't see me rolling my eyes right now, guys, listening on the podcast.
Zombie apocalypse happens, right?
Okay.
We have to go to an island. Me and you have to go to an island. Okay. Obviously, BMO's coming and our baby's coming. I was about to say her name. Jeez.
Oh, keep that a secret.
Obviously, BMO and our baby's coming.
Yeah.
Like, set that aside. Me and you have to go to an island and figure it out how to rebuild society.
Yeah.
BMO almost dropped something.
Yeah, she pulled it.
What one friend would you bring to help? Like,
to help us? I have to bring someone?
You have to bring each of us. You have to bring someone. Actually, you pick someone out of your friends. I pick someone out of my friends.
I don't want to bring anybody. Do I have to?
You have to say someone. You have to.
I don't want. What if? No, I can't walk around on the island in my underwear.
But who would be the most helpful? Who would be like out of everyone you know, who would be the most helpful and like?
I guess Mikey, he knows how to do the most things.
Yeah.
Like when my car radio was jacked, he took it out, but he wouldn't let me stay and watch him and learn. Right. He made me go inside.
Oh, okay.
So I guess Mikey, because like he does work and
he
I
can
don't
do
have
the
to.
And he can do like the most stuff.
Yeah. Like I think that he would
be the most useful.
Yeah. And I mean he's a pilot and he's like always been like handy, kind of like you, like you guys, but you guys have different strengths in your handiness.
Right. Okay.
Yeah. Who would you choose?
It's a little okay. Right away, I'd kind of think Ryan.
I was thinking Ryan too, but he's your friend, not my friend.
Yeah.
Right? Like he's my friend, but
handy,
he's your friend.
He's intelligent. We think alike.
He's a problem solver.
Yeah, he's a problem solver. He can he works with his hands. He's not like he's one of my only friends that actually Charlie works with his hands too. But he's more of an artist.
Yeah, but Charlie has a more laid back personality because of the art, and Charlie's if it doesn't get done, Charlie just shrugs his shoulders. Yeah, it's like the worst son. It's like, oh, okay, just shrug his shoulders. But Ryan can't let a job go that's not done.
Yeah.
So I think
Ryan would be really useful.
Yeah. And it's funny because I think that Ryan, Mikey, and you all have different gifts.
Yeah. But in terms of like repopulating, like that.
Oh. No, I don't want to do that.
Yeah, no, okay, let's not.
Yeah. None of that.
It would have to be. It couldn't be two males. It would have to be two girls.
It would have to be two females
Yeah.
and a male. Or no, two females and two males. But no, because then I don't want you touching anyone.
Okay.
No, if you want to give Mikey some kisses, you can, but that's it.
This is scenario worth it. Okay.
No.
Okay, so
You're not allowed to cheat on me in scenarios, okay? Don't you laugh at me.
I knew it would be kind of a weird question.
You're
right,
doggone right.
Go, your turn.
Okay, my turn. What sparked your fear of spiders?
Oh man. Okay. Well, I think this happened to a lot of people. So when I was a kid, there was this movie that came out. I don't know if it was like way later. I think it came out way later. But this movie. Okay, so over the weekends, I would visit my cousins, and that's where they were older cousins. That's where we would watch scary movies like all the time. So they lived in kind of like the projects of Toronto, and then my parents would drop me off there, and then we'd watch.
Because they wanted you to see like
I don't know.
Project.
I thought about that. I'm like, maybe they wanted me to see how it was, or I think they just wanted to go out.
Like, that's probably more likely what it was.
Yeah, I don't think they thought that
you'd learn anything.
Yeah, or they were that intelligent to think like that way. But so anyway, we'd go there and watch scary movies. So they put on Arachnophobia. You ever seen that movie? Never heard of it? Mm-mm. Oh man, so it's. I gotta show you the trailer or something.
I don't think I'm interested.
It's. I
appreciate.
It's kind of gesture. Like okay. The plot of the movie is. It's one of okay. I'm just totally gonna get this wrong, but someone comes back from like a tropical place, and then on the plane, some crazy poisonous spider kills.
So it's like snakes
scientist.
on a plane, but spiders on a plane.
It kills the scientist, and then it gets over to America or whatever. Yeah. And then it gets into like rural America, the spider, and then that spider breeds with some big spider that jumps, this jumping spider, and then they make this like ultimate poisonous jumping spider. Oy. And then it starts to hatch, and then like I don't know how they did it, but they kind of like trained these spiders, and then like it was attacking the house, and there were spiders all over the house, and everything was practical. There were real spiders, no CG back then. Yeah. So like as a kid watching this, like that totally screwed me up, and I'm not deathly afraid of them. Like I could kill them. But
what happened to me today would have sent you on a spiral.
No, I would have been like weirded out. But
so here, guys, what happened to me today? It was crazy. I took a cup out of the cupboard and I didn't see anything in it. I put ice in it, and then I sprayed our little water squirt in it, and then I filled the water up. And then I looked down, and there was this big spider floating in it. Oh gosh! And it was like. And then I guess little eggs or whatever on the side. There's another little black patch beside it. And I was like freaked out. So I threw it in the sink immediately. And then I put it in burning hot water.
What kind of cup was it? Was it
It was one of those cups.
One of these cups?
Yeah. That's why I freaked out. But I think it came out of the faucet. Like I think it was climbing on the faucet. I don't think it was in the cup. Oh. Yeah. So I think when I turned on the water, it shot it into my cup.
Into the cup. Jesus.
Yeah, I know. So it made me think like I'm always going to check my cup thoroughly before
I wonder how much spiders we've drank over the years.
That is terrifying to think of that, and really awful. So that's how you started to become scared of spiders.
Yeah, I think that's where it stemmed from. But I was way worse when I was a kid, but I've gotten like better at it because you kind of confront your fears and.
Like you can kill a spider if need be now.
Yeah, I can kill a spider. But when they're like humongous, then I have a problem.
Yeah. Usually just vacuum them then.
Yeah,
that's your method.
Vacuum. Okay. Okay, hold on. Okay,
he's thinking about his next question, guys.
Okay, so you know how before we started dating, you didn't try certain foods? Yes. Why do you think that is in people? Like, why do they not? Are they not open to try new things? Like, what's that block?
So I didn't try things because I just thought I wouldn't like it.
Right.
So I thought, why should I try it if I don't think I'm gonna like it?
Yeah. So that was.
If I don't like the smell.
Yeah. So people, you think it's a lot of people's like they think they won't like it. They think it's disgusting.
It's not that they think it's disgusting. It's that they like. Well, maybe they do, but for me, it was that as a child, my parents would sometimes cook disgusting things. Like they smelled awful.
Yeah.
Like they used to cook this thing
Haggis?
like once every 2 weeks. I'm not Scottish. So I cooked this thing like once every 2 weeks.
I said haggis if you didn't hear that.
I'm Irish, okay? But anyway,
I don't know, man.
they would cook beef stroganoff.
What's that?
I don't even know. It was like meat in like a grayish brown sauce. And it was awful. And they cooked it in a hot pan. Do you know what that is? Like you plug in the frying pan.
Yeah, yeah.
And they would cook it and the whole house would smell. And it would smell so bad that I would have to open my bedroom window and turn on a fan.
Beef stroganoff.
To like try to get it out. It was so bad. And it tasted like what I imagine dirt tastes like.
Yeah, was that bad?
Yeah. So my parents would put it on my plate. And then they would say that I couldn't leave the table until I ate it.
Mm.
So sometimes I would sit at the table for like 3 or 4 hours.
Wow.
And then it would be like bedtime and I would just sit there.
I gotta look that up, beef stroganoff.
It was awful.
So
it was awful.
It probably has a lot to do with how kids are
yeah,
like what their parents fed them.
Yeah,
right?
And then so my parents, it got to the point when they would just do that, like eat this or you're not leaving the table. So then I would just sit there for hours.
Were your meals really diverse, or were they like chicken?
It was
like,
always this like Monday,
mashed potatoes,
like a Monday, whatever. Like every 2 weeks, it was the same stinking thing.
So
and
like,
it was like even
steak,
when they
mashed
got
potatoes, chicken.
Yeah.
Like.
So even and then the steak was like unseasoned steak, and it was. Gosh, and it was, I don't know, it was so bland, and it was
bland.
horrible.
Okay, so that might be a thing too, like eating really bland foods as a kid. And then
it was like they didn't know any better.
Yeah,
like
exactly.
They didn't have YouTube videos to look up and stuff, right? So they didn't know that if you add salt, it'll actually taste good, you know? Or if you like just put a little bit of pepper in it or something, you know? Like, gosh. But I remember it made me, because I was forced to try so many things, I would just not eat them. Right. So then there was a period of time where when I was able to choose my own food, I would only choose stuff that I knew I liked.
Yeah. Okay.
Because I could choose my own food.
Right, right.
And it was so much better.
So growing up, both of my parents are from Jamaica. My mom is like mixed with a bunch of stuff. But my parents are from Jamaica, came here when they were in their teens. So when I was a kid, eating, like, we'd eat everything, like curry goat, oxtail, like jerk chicken, like all different types of stuff with a lot of different spices.
Yeah.
So, and it's like really spicy stuff, like fish, we'd eat like goat head soup, like all these crazy sounding things. But as a kid, that was normal to me.
Yeah, so you didn't know.
Yeah, so I didn't know. So as growing up, when I started hanging out with Eric, who was like my close friend in high school, his parents are Chinese, so he would go out with his dad, and then I'd try all these Chinese dishes for the first time. But I was open to trying them because as a kid I ate so many different things, so many weird things. So I was just like, yeah, I'll try it. I'll try that.
So even before I dated you, I dated a Chinese guy, and we would go for dim sum with his family on Sundays.
Right.
And they would order like the little circle thing, the wooden thing of like chicken feet. And then they would be like, "Oh, Jane, try it." And I'm like, "No, it's okay." And they would all be like eating it and then pulling out the little bones.
Yeah, so many bones.
Oh, I just couldn't. I couldn't even. Oh, and then we would go to family barbecues, and they would have these eggs, what look like hard-boiled eggs, but then you open them, and then there was like, it was like a part of a chicken was developed.
They had Chinese? That's
Chinese.
Like a Filipino thing.
I don't know, they did it, and then they would like eat it.
Oh,
and
I've never tried that. That's the one thing I never tried.
Yeah, it like freaked me out.
So when you would go out to these Chinese restaurants and stuff, would you try different stuff, or
no,
you just
not really.
Get the normal?
I could like the whatever the stuff that I knew was that I get. But then I remember I went to his family's for Christmas Eve one year, and then he got really mad at me because I didn't want to try the duck, and he said that it was rude if I didn't eat the duck. So I got a small piece of duck, and then it was on my plate.
Really fatty.
I took a breath, and then I popped it in my mouth, and I ate it, and then I swallowed it, and then he turned back, and he's like, he's like, you have to try the duck. And I'm like, I just tried it. And
Yeah.
he's like, no, because the skin would be out. And I'm like, I didn't know I wasn't supposed to eat the skin. Like, I guess they like peeled it or something, you know, like you're supposed to leave the outside. But anyway, he said I didn't eat it, and I really did eat it.
Duck is so delicious. It's so good.
No.
Would you try it now? Like,
I did try it when we were on our honeymoon.
You did?
Yeah, when we went, Adrian had given us, Adrian and Ian gave us that one night.
But that was,
in
that
Niagara
duck
on the Lake,
is like...
and we had that duck.
Okay, yeah.
That counts, man.
Yeah, but that's like white people duck.
But I ate it, okay?
Yeah, duck is delicious. It's kind of like a mixture of chicken and like steak a little bit, but mostly chicken. Tastes like chicken.
But lots of fat.
Yeah, lots of fat, which you hate.
Yes.
You hate that
I
fat
hate,
in your mouth.
It's not
feel.
like the taste. Yeah, it's the feel.
It's the feel in the mouth. That's true too. Like a lot of people don't like stuff because of how it feels in their mouth.
Yes. And for me, it's like the blubbery feeling of fat.
Yeah.
That I can't stand.
There's nothing really that I have that's gross, like mouthfeel wise. Avocado, I'm not a fan of.
Oh, I love avocado. Salmon is for me. I hate how
that?
salmon feels.
Feels in your mouth. It's just fish.
I know. I can barely eat fish.
But okay, so since we started dating, you've been a lot more open in the foods you've tried. Like you tried sushi for the first time.
I tried pickles.
You tried pickles,
yeah,
which you love.
that changed my life.
So what happened? What?
I just decided that if I wanted my life to be different, and I did, because I was tired of pretty much being in the same relationship over and over and over, I had to do something different. Mm-hmm. And for me, with you, as ridiculous as it sounds, it was to try food.
Right.
Like, give it a chance. Like, why not just try it? And then I called you Pickle for a long time after we had pickles, and I loved them because I felt like it meant so much. Like, pickle was like opening my world to something new and different and stuff.
And
I'd
that's
be
when
like,
you
hey,
tried...
Pickles.
Yeah, we called our
followers
pickles,
originally Pickles.
Pickles for if you guys are
Team
like
Pickle.
deep cut CJ and Girl TV.
Yeah, then you know all about Team Pickle.
Team Pickle.
Little gherkin on her way.
The first thing we tried, the pickles thing, was deep fried pickles, and then we made the transition to like normal pickles.
Then I tried just a pickle with a hamburger.
Yeah.
And I couldn't believe how good that was.
Elevates it.
It changed
and then I kind
the
of
burger.
like you started cooking more too.
Yeah, I did.
Yeah.
And then I started to make hamburgers, and then I remember I just tried a bunch of things. Like I really got into making this burger one time. I didn't look anything up. I just kept throwing things on top of it, like different like seasonings and barbecue sauce and hot sauce and stuff. And then I popped it on a bun and I served it to JV with like cheese and pickles and tomatoes and lettuce. And then he ate it and he didn't say anything. And then he was just quiet. And I was like, I'm like, how did it go? And he's like, that was the best burger I've ever had in my life.
Yeah.
And I was so happy.
It was amazing.
Yeah.
So like I think what happened too is like at that point we'd watched a lot of like did we have Food Network was
no, we didn't have it, but we would watch
YouTube and stuff.
Diners, Drive-Ins, and Dives and stuff.
Yeah, I downloaded that.
Yeah.
And I think that seeped in.
But then it was because I moved in with you, and then suddenly I was allowed to cook. Because remember, at my parents' house, if I didn't eat with them, I wasn't allowed to kind of use the kitchen.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, it depended on the mood that they were in.
Mm-hmm.
And it was just, I stayed too long. Like, I just was too old to live with them. And everything I did would piss them off. But I remember having the freedom to use the kitchen and use any pot and pan that I wanted. And it changed.
Cooking's really, really important. If you don't know how to cook, you should. It's because nowadays you can look stuff up.
Yeah.
Back in the day, you had to ask your grandma, and then the tradition had to pass down. But now,
how do you do the sauce?
Why is she Italian? Why did you turn Italian?
I think it's my best accent.
Yeah.
I'm not Italian at all. Like, I don't have one piece of Italian in me.
Are you allowed to do it if you're not Italian?
I don't know. I think I get a pass.
This is why it's PG.
Right? Don't I get a pass?
Yeah, you get a pass.
Yeah.
So yeah, you can just look
it's
stuff
like
up.
when you do the Black Panther voice.
Yeah, I'm allowed to do
I'm
that.
just like, yeah, you get a pass.
Oh, but yeah, I'm not African.
Yeah, you're not African. So, well, you kind of get a pass.
Get this man a shield.
No. kid. I don't think
Yeah.
that's okay.
Yeah, we can do it. I can do it. You want to do it African?
I don't think I can. Get this man a shield.
That sounds normal.
I can't. Do it again. Let me copy.
Someone get this man a shield.
Someone get this man a shield.
That's
that better?
a little bit better. Yeah.
Yeah?
How about mine? Nonna, how come you don't teach me the salsa? It's just a Mario. It's just like it's so like.
It's me, Mario. I did.
We've all done Mario at some point.
Yeah.
Okay, we're getting off topic.
I think
here.
is it your turn? No, it's my turn.
Yeah, I asked about the food stuff. Okay,
Yeah.
your turn.
Okay, so this one's kind of like sweet. If you if you could have one wish for our baby girl for her to have something.
The Ray J song? Okay.
Yeah, what would it be?
Her to have a wish.
Like if you could have one wish for like a gift for her to have.
Immortality.
Like,
super strength.
oh my god.
Super speed.
I guess.
Jedi powers.
Oh my gosh.
Okay. What do you mean? Okay, so a thing.
So for me, I was thinking like I would love for her to completely understand math.
Oh.
And to be like really good at it and able to help other kids understand math.
Okay.
Like that was kind of mine.
You
sort of went a different way.
Well, I didn't know what you meant. Okay, so mine.
Just because I'm like her mummy struggled so much with math.
Yeah.
Just because like none of my elementary teachers knew how to do math properly, and then when I got into high school, I was so behind, right? But I never want her to experience that because it was so hard for me, and I even with a tutor and like. Then, like, I had a really good summer school teacher, and he would explain something to me, and I'd feel so good, and I'd be like, oh, so it's like this, and I would do it, and he'd be like, no, but no. I appreciate your enthusiasm, and I would just be like, so frustrated, I don't want her to experience that.
Okay, all right,
what would you want?
I'll give you why I want her to do this, and I'll give you a little backstory as to why. So I would want her to, like, just be really, really good at reading and memorization.
Yeah.
Because
it's how you succeed in school.
Well, yeah, because the school system, how it is now, if you can read fast and memorize, you can destroy school. You can almost.
That's all university is.
You can be anything you want. You can be a doctor. You can be a lawyer. If you can read fast and memorize and regurgitate and like write it back, you'll destroy school. If you can't retain stuff, you're gonna struggle.
Yeah.
So as a kid growing up, there was two things that were super important to my parents: playing soccer, because they're immigrant parents from Jamaica, so athletics is like be a soccer player. You're gonna this is how you're gonna make money. It wasn't like school education.
Let's get you reading.
Yeah. So also the second thing was math. So they pushed math super hard on me. Like math was like I had tutors for math. I would have to study my times tables and all this. Math was so important. Yeah. But they didn't emphasize on reading and memorization.
Okay.
So that made like high school, like elementary school, high school so hard for me because my reading skills was so low.
They were poopy.
Like when I would have to read chapters 10 to 13, and I would take forever because as a kid I would I was good at math, but in the real world, like reading and memorization is just way more important, I think.
For me, I'm not a fast reader, but I retain almost everything.
Right. That's huge.
So like but it comes up like it's details about things, right? It's like whenever it's like JV and I don't fight often, but when we do, I can pull out any artifact.
But they're not always right.
Yeah.
Sometimes they're a little off.
Because they're from my perspective, right?
Yeah.
But I mean,
it's a tricky thing.
So it's like even reading a book, I can remember, oh well, in chapter 4, do you remember when this happened? And someone's like, what?
Yeah,
like that was so minuscule.
So as like going through school, going through trade, like I went to trade school and stuff. So being able to memorize and read fast, I think was way more what's it called? Useful.
Beneficial,
yes. Yeah. Beneficial, useful in the real world. Math is like, okay, if you're gonna go into something that has to do with math, then like engineering or something, then it's great.
If you're gonna be a surgeon, you know what I mean? Bedside matter. manner.
Yeah, but our little girl for sure she's gonna like know how to do math, but reading and memorization is gonna be a huge part.
Yeah. Well, we'll probably have her reading before she's 4.
Yeah.
I would imagine.
Yeah.
Because I'm gonna read to her every single day.
I'm gonna read to her too. I'm gonna get better at that.
Yeah, read out loud. Like that's the best way to improve on your reading. Okay, it's your turn.
All right, it's my turn. I gotta pick. Should we thank our sponsors?
Who's that girl? Yeah, our sponsor.
Patreon.
Patreon.
Yeah.
Let's thank our Patreons. Patreon.
Yeah, guys, thank you, our Patreon sponsors. Without you guys, this wouldn't be possible.
Yeah.
So, we want to thank you, Patreons, for helping us. And this is why we can do stuff like this. We can do like podcasts and other things because of our Patreon. So, thank you guys.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Oh man. Okay. Okay. Your top 3 favorite foods.
Top 3 favorite foods. Okay, I want you to have a crack at this.
Okay. Oh, me guess your top favorite foods? Oh, okay. Pizza.
Number 1, yeah. And what type of pizza?
What do you mean? Like what place or what topping?
No, the answer is any.
Oh.
Any type of pizza. I love pizza.
Garbage pizza.
Even if there's garbage pizza, I want garbage pizza.
I can't really think of like... Have we had bad pizza? Remember? No, a couple times we did.
Yeah,
recently.
well, the cafeteria pizza at my school is terrible, but I'll still eat every last bite of it.
Yeah, but
because I love
remember
pizza.
we ordered something and it was like it wasn't that good. What was it?
Oh,
Pizza Hut? Or Domino's or?
I think no. Oh, that's gonna bother me.
Yeah, I forget which one it was.
It was Domino's.
I think it was Domino's.
It was trash.
Yeah, it was really bad.
Yeah, like.
But I know in this, I know. Okay, we live in Toronto, Canada. I know in the States, Domino's is really good in some places.
I'm gonna try this local joint, Domino's.
You mean Domino's?
It's a joke from King of Queens. If you don't know.
King of Queens. If you're familiar with it.
If you don't know, now you
But we just got Papa John's here, and man, is that good. Papa John's is so. I had it one time when I was a little kid. I played soccer, so we'd have tournaments in Canada and in America. So when we go to America, we'd have Papa John's, and it was just amazing. So we finally got it, and there's one close by. So we've gotten it twice so far, and it's really, really good. He just got in trouble, Papa John.
I know. I didn't hear.
He lost. He got like. So what happened? So you know how all the NFL players are like kneeling?
Oh yeah.
They're protesting against like black people getting shot and like that whole climate.
Yes.
So, he tweeted something. I'm getting this way off, guys. Let me know in the comments. He said something about the people, about them kneeling, something bad, or something. And then the NFL
pulled their like.
The NFL dropped. Okay, so the official NFL sponsor was for pizza was Papa John's, and then he said something. He tweeted something, and then they like cut the deal, and then
millions of dollars.
And then the board of directors behind Papa John's said, "We can't have you tweeting stuff." So they fired him.
You're out of here.
So just because he couldn't not tweet.
Yeah.
Like gosh, Papa John got
Twitter
dethroned.
gets people in trouble, man.
Yeah, that's crazy. It happens so often now. Like where someone will tweet something and then their life will be ruined. And if they just didn't tweet that thing.
JV's always trying to tell me tweet more, and I'm like, I'm good.
No, I don't mean tweet political things. I mean just like tweet like, hey how's it going? Like,
hey, no.
Hey, no more Italian stuff. Okay, hold on. I was asking you about your. Okay, pizza.
So that was one pizza.
Peanut butter.
Not a favorite, but it would be a staple. Like I do need peanut butter, but it's not my favorite.
Okay, sushi.
You know, I like sushi. I'll just tell you the others.
Okay, because when we go to get sushi, you destroy.
I know.
That.
I eat absurd amounts.
But we don't get it that often.
No.
But you eat a lot of it.
Yeah.
I can't really think of your other favorite foods. Chips?
No, that's not a food.
Apples?
Apples. I do love apples.
All right, let's hear it.
Okay. So it's pizza. It's hamburgers. I love a good hamburger.
Yeah, that's your favorite food?
Yeah, okay, and then anything like that's buffalo chicken. So usually I like never frozen chicken strips with buffalo sauce. Okay. But I love them even more if they're in a wrap.
Okay.
So like my favorite wrap because you can get them all over the place, but there's particular places. So my very favorite comes from like this place that used to be called Phoenix and the Firkin, and now it's called Willie Stouts. That's my number one. That's my favorite.
This whole time we've been married and dating, that's your one of your favorite foods? That wrap. Wow, I didn't know that.
Yeah, and I dip it in hot sauce. It's like so cheap.
And it was walking distance from where we used to live.
Oh my god, I love it. But I don't want to hate it, so I didn't want to get it all the time.
I had no idea. What's your favorite burger?
My favorite burger is, truthfully, and this sounds so arrogant.
McDonald's.
No, it's what I make.
Oh, your own.
Yeah, my own is my favorite.
You know, that's happening to us more and more because...
Yeah.
Okay, so we watch a lot of Food Network now that we have cable, and we've always YouTubed a lot. Yeah. So, like, as our cooking skills get better, the stuff that we make is, like, better than... Yeah, better than the store-bought. So stuff. My absolute favorite burger is my own. Like, with the barbecue sauce. Like, you know how I candy it? Like, I cook it for so long. What kind of bun?
I guess a ciabatta, like the one from Costco. I like that. But I also sometimes just want to taste the meat. And in that case, I just want an English muffin.
Yeah, I love the regular small hamburger buns. And toast them
good.
A bit.
I feel like they take away from the flavor sometimes. But I feel like if you put a ciabatta bun and then you put like a little bit of butter on both sides, like it just sucks up the burger juice.
Man, I'm so hungry right now.
So good. Me too. I just started thinking about that.
We're gonna go get food after this. We don't usually eat out. I usually make dinner, but tonight we're gonna switch it up a bit.
Well, because it's almost my birthday.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, and now, so your absolute favorite food is crab legs.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, you got it.
Of course. I know that, and I know you love like Red Lobster and stuff like that.
I'm having trouble thinking of like my top 3.
I know, because crab legs is your number one. Then you really like, hi baby girl. I know you don't like it's very broad, but you love Chinese food.
Yes.
And pho.
Not really.
No.
I'm not a big fan of like I keep every once in a while I'll try it, and then I'm like,
you don't love it.
Why do I keep like it's filling? Okay. It is filling and it's super cheap.
Chinese you love.
It's like $8 or $9 and it's so huge and it fills you up and it is good, but it's not my favorite.
Yeah, but Chinese food is up there.
Yeah,
for sure.
Like I love Chinese.
Because you love even going to like TNT and picking up Chinese food there.
Yeah, because it's like again it's $9 and they like the thing is huge. They give you so much food. So my favorite Chinese dish would probably be Cantonese chow mein.
Oh,
I love that. Like the seafood.
That too.
Yeah, it has like the seafood scallops and like lobster, and it has the noodles with the sauce. Oh my god, I'm getting so hungry.
And then I think your third favorite would be calamari.
Yes, I think you're right. Yeah, calamari. Yeah. The tentacles.
Yes.
Oh, it's so good.
So see,
I haven't had it in so long.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I get it, and you don't like.
I make burgers all the time.
Yeah. True. I didn't know it was your favorite though.
Yeah. Well, I really like it. I don't like the pre-made patties. Like I prefer my own patties too.
This is just becoming like a conversation between us. Yeah. We're just like
it's okay.
This is awesome.
That was a 3.
But I'm learning stuff about you. And they're learning stuff about us too.
Yeah, and it's kind of good. Like it's funny that after all these years we're still learning stuff about each other.
Yeah.
Okay. If you could get one more pet, either a dog or a cat, which would you choose and why?
I kind of had a question like this too.
Yeah.
Okay, so recently we visited a couple. Steph and Nick. So you used to play volleyball with them.
Yeah. So Steph and I played on the same club volleyball team.
Yeah, and they're both pregnant, and we saw them at the...
We're like 3 weeks apart. We're the same OBGYN.
Yeah, we saw her at the OBGYN, the doctor. Yeah. You have to get regular checkups to check the heart of the baby. So she bumped into her there. And then, so her husband is like into, what's it called? Like Facebook ads and Amazon sales and stuff like that, which is something that I was interested in. And for some reason, we started talking about how we have a YouTube channel and he's into that. So we just started talking like crazy. Yeah,
like the two of them.
And he wants to know about YouTube, I want to know about Facebook.
They were so excited. We hit it was really cute.
So we went out to dinner with them.
Well, we went to their house for dinner.
Yeah, we went to their house for dinner. And they have this little, like... amazing Maltese teacup. Man,
her name is Molly.
She's the cutest dog I've ever seen, and she was so friendly.
I love her.
Like I know puppies are always really friendly and nice.
But she was something else.
And we went to like the rug area, and there's like a little ball, and I was throwing the ball, and she was playing fetch.
Yeah.
And she was so young. Like she just knew instinctively to play
go
fetch.
and get it for you. Yeah. It was so like. And then I was wearing this hot pink like bubblegum lipstick, and Molly kept throwing her head on my my mouth, and so she had like pink highlights all over her, and Steph was so great. I'm like, Steph, I'm so sorry. And it's like she's like, it's okay, she's a girl, she could use some highlights.
If I can, I'll throw a picture of it if I remember. But
yeah,
man, that was the cutest dog ever.
Cute.
And the thing about
the best temperament.
Yeah, the temperament. It was just amazing. So as a kid living with my dad, like my parents were divorced, so I was living with my dad. I lived in the basement when my brother lived upstairs, my little brother. So my dad got a pit bull, like a little puppy pit bull.
Yeah, Staffordshire Terrier, for those who don't know what a pit bull is.
Okay, so maybe I was like, I don't remember how old. But my dad got a pit bull anyway, so the pit bull was nice and cute when it was small.
Hair all over me. Sorry, I'm like trying to get off. I'm like.
So when the pit bull was small, it was super cute and friendly and stuff. But it grows.
Yeah.
And it grew
hella big.
Huge, and it was so strong and muscular.
Yeah.
And my dad did not take care of the pit bull at all, so it was left for like me and my brother to take care of.
But you have to explain that, like why? It's because it's culturally, right? Like. His dad grew up in Jamaica. In Jamaica, a lot of people have dogs on their properties, and the dog just protects the property.
Right, they leave it outside.
Yeah, leave it outside all year.
The property. They don't train it, nothing. They just feed it.
And the dog just knows.
It's just outside.
So his dad thought that's how dogs worked in Canada.
No, it doesn't work like that.
No.
It was winter. You can't.
Yeah.
So he'd leave it in the backyard. But
so the
you
dog
can't
grew
do
to
that.
hate him.
Yeah, so the dog.
Yeah.
So we just had these negative experiences with dogs, and then that dog ran away because my dad treated it like crap. And then my dad, a couple months later, buys another dog, and it was half pit bull, half Rottweiler.
Yeah.
And the exact same cycle happened. So
dog ran away too.
So I had these bad experiences with these like little puppies that grow into these giant
dogs,
like, beasts. But like, I'm sure if like trained well and everything.
Well, look at Diamond. Like Diamond was fantastic.
Was awesome. So I think
his mom's dog's name was Diamond, and she was incredible. She just passed away. Mm. Rest in peace, Diamond.
Yeah, rest in peace, Diamond. So if I were to get a dog, it would be a small, nice dog. Because I can't handle the big dogs.
So would you choose like a Molly?
Maybe. But the hair would be a problem because it might get wet and smelly, no?
Yeah. Well, they don't really go outside much. They only go outside in the summer.
Right. Maybe, yeah. Okay, so I would get a smaller, like, teacup type style dog. But isn't that, like, they breed them to be tiny?
Yeah, and it's not good for their hearts and stuff. But it's like...
I'd have to think about that more. But if I were to get one, I'd get a Molly.
A Molly, yeah. A little Maltese.
Yeah.
So you'd get a puppy.
Yes.
I think I'm at the point where I want a puppy, too.
Yeah.
I mean,
I would love another cat, too.
I know, I would, too. I would like one more cat and a puppy.
Yeah. But we'd have a baby on the way.
I know, and then I want another baby too. So.
So yeah, I think we're gonna have like one. We might have two kids, or maybe three.
We're debating.
Yeah.
We're gonna see. Like this pregnancy was really tough, like very tough. We didn't know what it was gonna be like, right? Mm. And
was it as hard as you thought it would be?
It was so different than what I thought it would be. Like, I had no idea that I could throw up that much.
You handled it so well, though.
Yeah.
Compared to what I've heard and the nightmare stories I've heard from other people, like, you were amazing.
It was, thanks, baby. But it was, I would say, compared to what I thought it would be, it was 100 times more difficult.
Really? Wow.
Yeah. And even still, like, right now, like, all through this podcast, she's been, like pressing on under my ribs. Like it's like she tries to put her foot under my ribs, so my rib kind of like pops out, and then I'm just like, now I just sit here and I'm just like, that really hurts, but it doesn't shock me as much as it did in the beginning.
Right. Okay.
Because she's pretty much doing it all day now.
Yeah. So you're kind of getting used to it a little bit.
Yeah, but it's not something that I want to deal with for a long time.
Maybe next time we'll get a surrogate.
Anyone want to have our baby?
I wonder if they'll figure out how to. No, okay.
No, put it in a man.
Yeah.
You don't have a uterus. You can't.
Yeah,
in case you didn't know, I teach health. So I'm like, no, you don't have the incubator.
Maybe
inside.
in like 100 years. Okay,
well, they had that one case on the news where they said that the man was, had become pregnant, but then it turned out that he was transgender.
Transgender, yeah.
So,
All right, so that was episode number 1.
Is that it?
Yeah.
Stop?
Well, you want to keep going?
I wanted to ask one more question.
All right, one more question.
Last question of the evening or day, depending on when you're listening to this. What are you most nervous about for labor?
Labor?
Yeah.
I could get really dark with that. Like, I want you guys to survive. Like,
that's so scary.
I know.
Yeah, is that what you're most nervous about?
What, the other stuff, like the pooping and all that stuff?
No, like I just wanted to know what are you most nervous about? Like, you're nervous that one of us won't make it?
No, I never really thought of this.
Yeah.
I just thought it'd be fine when you go into labor. We'd get you ready, take you to the hospital, and then you'd have the baby.
So the thing, like, I'll tell you,
oh, man,
you think,
freaking me out now.
You think about it, and I'll tell you the thing that I'm most nervous about.
Oh.
The thing that I'm most nervous about is I know like how long the epidural is. I know, and I know that if you move when they're putting it in, there's a chance that you can be paralyzed.
Oh,
and I know that like I'm so scared because sometimes I just flinch.
Yeah,
like,
you guys know.
Yeah, and yeah, I'm a very flinchy kind of person. So I'm so scared that I'm gonna flinch when they're putting it in, and I'm gonna be paralyzed. We need to do
practice stuff. We need to do practice needles. I'll start poking your back. So that I don't
flinch.
Like, seriously, I'm gonna start like.
Well, that's my biggest fear, is that I flinch and then I'll never walk again. And I was like a track star, and I was like runner.
Oh my
and I
gosh,
like,
Jane, why'd you have to end it like this?
No, this is just, it's true. This is like a huge fear, and I've looked up, and the chances are so slim, but like it's slim. It's not non-existent.
Right. Okay.
So that's what I'm most nervous about. Like, that's what I think about, like, probably every day. I got a little choked up there.
This is a crying podcast too. I can't escape it.
Tell me what you're most nervous about for labor.
Oh man, that's such a dark question. It's only bad stuff. I don't know. Now I'm worried about you're gonna get paralyzed. No. I hope the baby is okay.
Yeah, I want her to be healthy.
I hope you're okay.
And I want to be okay too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so
that was I could have asked so many more questions, like taking it down dark turns.
Yeah, that was dark.
I know. I had to know because I needed to know that I'm not alone in being scared.
Yeah, no, it's scary.
It's our first baby. Like, we've never done this, and so it's.
So now that just elevated my scare.
Well, at least now we're in this together. We're both scared. Yeah.
Thanks a lot.
We just have to work on me not flinching.
It's a bummer. Yeah. Okay, yeah. We'll work on that.
Yeah.
Before we go to bed, I'll just start poking your back.
Yeah, even when I'm not ready for it.
Okay.
Yeah. So
sounds like a good plan. Guys, go to your
sounds sexy.
Go to your podcast.
Go to your podcast. Come on.
Go to your podcast apps. This is a family show. Go to your podcast apps, either on iTunes, right?
Yeah.
And on Android, you could use
Podcast Addict.
Podcast Addict. Go there. Search CJ Go TV. Push that subscribe button. It's completely free to listen to podcasts. And then download the first episode there. It really helps us out if you subscribe to us on those podcast apps. So go there. Do that right after this, right after you watch this, because most of you guys are going to see this on YouTube.
Yeah.
But only a select few are going to go to the podcast
And you know what?
app.
There might be something special on the podcast version. There might not be, though. So.
Oh, maybe I'll leave the name in on the podcast.
Oh, the podcast version?
Okay, guys. On the podcast version, I accidentally said the baby's name.
Yeah.
So the only way to hear that is to go to the podcast app, download, search CJ Go TV, click subscribe, and then download the episode. Mm-hmm. The first episode, number 1, I reveal the baby's name by accident. And that'll be only on the podcast.
Only on the podcast.
Yes.
So if you have an Android, it's Podcast Addict, and it's a little orange app.
Yeah, there's tons of podcast apps, but that's the one I use because you can set it to record, to download.
Only when you're on Wi-Fi.
Yeah, download only when you're on Wi-Fi and the latest episode, and then it'll delete the last episode. So every week it'll just automatically download the new one and delete the last one. And that's a really cool feature.
Definitely.
Yeah, and it's completely free, so you don't have to pay anything.
Yeah.
So what else? Anything else?
That's it.
And if you want to support us, go to Patreon. You can help support the show.
Yeah.
And that's about it.
And we've also been receiving a lot of gifts on our Amazon wish list for our baby registry, and we so appreciate you guys. We did make the Canadian version because some people were asking because they said that the .com had really high shipping. Mm-hmm. So we did make the Canadian version. So if you do want to send a little gift for our sweet baby girl, then you can check that out. And remember, please send your address when you send us a little card with it because we want to send you a thank you card.
Yeah, and leave a little note as well.
Yeah,
saying
so we can give it
and,
to her.
Yeah,
because we have collected all the notes from everyone that sent us stuff, and one day we're gonna show her how much people loved her before she came into this world.
Right.
Yeah.
That's about it. Episode 1 down. Finally.
Episode 1 complete.
Sorry if the mics are if we sound far away. We might do a dual mic situation next time.
Yeah, we're gonna feel it out.
Yeah, but hopefully this sounds good.
Yeah, a few times I'm not gonna lie, you turned away from the mic when you're talking.
I know. I have to keep facing it.
Yeah.
You have to remind me, poke me or something. Okay, we'll do this off air. All right, guys. Thank you so much for liking, commenting, and subscribing. Catching us around here. Peace.
If you like that video and you want to see more, go ahead and click that square button.
And if you want to subscribe, click that circle button.
Thanks for being part of Team Go.